the Doors Archives full trailer has finally come out after who knows how long, like 1 billion years. But yeah, so it's finally here, and there's like a bunch of neat stuff to actually look at, like genuinely. Like this might actually be like their best update yet after like a year of waiting since the outdoors. Yeah, that's kind of sad, but it's okay. We're back. We're back. Doors is back. So yeah, this will probably be more of a short video, but it's mostly just going to be me, like, kind of pointing out little things in the trailer that I think are interesting, and maybe, like, what I think certain things will do and aspects of it. So, yeah, it'll probably be a shorter video, but, like, it was hard to kind of make anything on the trailer, like, when I've already, like, watched it, right, and I'm a little bit late to it. So yeah, hopefully you understand, but, yeah, so let's just get into stuff I found interesting with it, and I'll kind of talk about, like, what I think things will do, and what, you know, like, things this subfloor will have to offer, and mechanics, and all sorts of stuff. Now, before I start talking about any of, like, the, like, entities, or, like, any little features I've seen in the trailer, genuinely just want to point out, like, how much of a cinematic masterpiece this trailer is. Like, I don't know why Jasper Creations have never done, like, the main floor trailers beforehand, because genuinely this might be the most insane Roblox trailer I've ever watched. Like, it's genuinely framed like a Stranger Things episode or something. Like, it's so cool. Like, I mean that in, like, a positive way. Like, that's just the transition from this TV to, like, this animation is, like, genuinely really peak. Like, I don't even know what else to say about it other than it just being, like, this might be the Roblox trailer of, like, all time. Like, genuinely. So, first things first for, like, all the little interesting thingies. Let's start with the entities and the creatures. Because, you know, that's just kind of my favorite part of Doors. That's what I find interesting about it, is the little creature features. But, yeah, so in the first couple, like, shots of the trailer, you can actually see, what appears to be the redesign / replacement of A60 in the archives, which is kind of surprising, because I mean, I thought it'd be pretty obvious that they'd have, like, some rush creature in the archives. They do in every floor, but I thought they'd go in a completely different direction than, like, A60. Like, it's not A60, but, like, it's obviously supposed to be the replacement for A60. And I think that's honestly neat. It kind of looks like I feel like it looks a little similar to, like, maybe Haste and Blitz if it were, like, combined or something. Like, some sort of, like, weird, like, zombie head looking thing. I don't know. I guess we'll see when it comes out. But I thought that looked pretty neat, and the lighting there is actually pretty awesome. Yeah, so, and then, besides, like, the A60 replacement, there's also, like, a bunch of these little, like, squiggly little, like, pencil drawing guys, like, and they have, like, sticky notes on their faces. I'm not really, like, maybe they're not, like, I don't know, but they're, like, little shadowy figures, kind of like, well, Shadow from, you know, the hotel, but they look really interesting, and, you know, the different faces they all have with the sticky notes and stuff, I think is actually pretty neat. I'm wondering if these are what the, like, Scribbles entity was that was, like, leaked a million years ago. I personally don't think it is, but on their sticky notes, on a couple of them, they do have that, Scribbles character's eye. So, that eye is, like, kind of a theme in, like, the eye appears in multiple places in the archives, it seems, just based off of the teaser trailers. I mean, not teaser trailers, sorry. The, like, the, Thingies bundle in the shop had a little video with the eye, and, you know, also in the April Fool's trailer, the eye was, like, I think briefly shown, like, cropped a little bit. So yeah, I think Scribbles has got to be something else entirely, but at least the faces, or at the very least, the faces of these little characters do reference Scribbles, or whatever his name is. But yeah, these things, it looks like you might just gotta, it might simply just be, you just don't, like, touch them, just kind of walk around them. They might be, like, like the employees of the office, employees of Honcho, which we'll talk about Honcho in a second, but I don't know, I can't really think of, like, what these guys would really be used for, because in the trailer, the developers are kind of just seen, like, maneuvering around them a little bit, so other than that, I'm not too sure. But they look really cool design-wise, and I'm excited to see what they do. So, Ghostly Wowzers low-key cooked on those drawings, so, yeah. Now for these, blue flower things, which, also appeared in the Archives teaser trailer. I'm gonna be for real, this is probably my favorite entity in the Archives design-wise thus far. I don't know, I like this thing. It's so weird looking, but, in the trailer, we get a little bit of a better glimpse at it. Before, in the teaser trailer, it was just a bunch of, like, little smaller flowers and vines in a doorway. And now, I'm not sure if it's, like, an evolved state of it or an updated model. Like, maybe they just changed it to make it, like, appear more obviously like one entity and not, like, multiple. I'm not sure. But either way, it looks pretty neat. And in the Archives trailer, it can be seen, like, quite a few of, like, the little mini flowers on the walls and stuff. And so, honestly, I kind of think that, so it's apparent that this entity is going to block off the doorway, and you're going to need to get rid of it to pass through somehow. And based off of the flowers on the walls, and they have, like, sort of this, like, little, like, they have, like, a particle effect, or, like, a billboard GUI thingy, like, a little, I don't know, they have, like, light around them. And I take it that you'll either probably have to, like, either go up to each of them individually and hit E on all of them to open up the door, but that doesn't sound very likely to me, because that sounds more like a lever than an entity. So I'm thinking, my only other idea could be using, like, the gummy shake light, or, like, just a normal light, and just, like, flashing each of the flowers in its eye to get it to, like, kind of, like, disappear or something, you know, like, wilt, and kind of open up the pathway if you get, like, all of them, or, like, it doesn't sound that intuitive, like the way I'm talking about it, but, like, it's gotta be, like, something, obviously something to do with the mini flowers on the walls. Those aren't there for no reason, but, I don't know. I'm excited to see what this, little character does, though. Like, it definitely seems like a lot more of an interesting threat than, like, past entities have been. It's a little bit more unique. So, kind of reminds me of Dupe in a sense, like, where it's kind of something with the doors and less, like, the room. But, yeah, I like this one. Alright, and so this next one, like, honestly, I'm pretty excited for, because, in the original room subfloor, the floor being replaced, actually, A90, is my favorite entity there. I just think it looks the coolest, and I think it acts the coolest, because it's more unique than just a rush clone, or ambush clone, or, you know, whatever you want to call it. But, even though I thought it was already cool, they somehow managed to make it genuinely even better. Like, honestly. So, it looks to me that in the Archives, it'll function pretty much the same at first, where you might be prompted to stop moving, or whatever. I assume now it won't do nearly as much damage given its new functionality, but it appears now you'll, like, basically, I'm assuming what happens is you're prompted to stop moving, like, tip it, like, normally, and if you do fail, it'll take some amount of HP, but not nearly as much, and instead of, you know, basically almost killing you, it'll now put a bunch of pop-ups on your screen, and you'll be prompted to spend, in the trailer, it shows 500 gold, it may vary depending on how many items you have, but you spend a certain amount of gold to get back items from your inventory, or they will be deleted. Basically taking your items for Ransom, which is this entity's new name, Ransom. And I think that's pretty neat. I don't really know what else to say about this thing, other than that I'm actually pretty excited to see what this, like, acts like. Honestly, I'm just happy they gave Ransom, like, a rework at all. So, I'm happy they even kept it, honestly, because A90 was the, only original entity to doors in the rooms, like, out of A60, A90, and A120. A90 was an original creation by the Doors team to fill in some empty space in the rooms. So, it makes sense that it's reused for Archives, and not, like, redesigned or anything, because it already did have an original design. Alright, and up next, we all know and we all love him, we have Honcho in the trailer, which is, basically the first Archives entity we ever truly knew about, because Honcho was accidentally added in the Doors lobby and the trick-or-treat mode, I'm pretty sure, on accident, left in there, in the game's, like, I guess, files, for lack of a better word. But yeah, so all we know about him is, like, I don't know, we don't actually know a whole lot about him, actually, other than, so, it seems like he will be able to roam around some places based off of this one little snippet in the teaser, and he is able to, well, he is able to do damage to you. I'm not sure if he's going to be completely hostile, but he will be able to, kill you. So, based off of the ending of the trailer, yeah, I still have, like, no clue what this creature's, like, mechanic could be, other than it just being called Honcho. It's like the boss of the archives, the big boss of the employees, or, just whatever. I don't think he'll be the final boss of the archives. I think the thing at the end of the trailer will be. We'll get to that later. But, I don't know. He's got to serve some important role, but I just can't figure out what it could possibly be. Another thing from this little screenshot is it does kind of show that the archives will probably be a gold hotspot still, based off of, the gold pile on the floor. I mean, I'd really hope it remains a gold hotspot, considering you have to pay, like, $1 trillion million to Ransom. So, it'd be kind of sad if it weren't, a gold hotspot anymore. But yeah, as mentioned before, Honcho appears, like, one more time, like, towards the end of this trailer, like, just in a little, like... See, I don't really know what to describe it as, but basically, Honcho can kill you, and that's basically all we know about him. Alright, and then, so for the next entity, we have this, like, I don't even know what to call this thing. This genuinely just... I don't know. It kind of looks like a Grumble and a mannequin, like, fused into one being. And it kind of turned into whatever the heck this thing is. It's like a weird robot thing with, like, a screen on its head. I'm assuming the screen, like, has something to do with the tickets, as seen in that one teaser. Like, the little, like, tickets, like, and whoa. And the TV on its face does actually say now serving, so you probably need to turn it off with some sort of ticket or something. It's unclear how this creature will, like, act. Maybe this is, like, the variant, maybe this is how you open, maybe, like, they needed something to replace, like, locked rooms instead of just, like, using keys. Maybe this thing is kind of like a bouncer of sort, where he, like, just kind of sits by the doorway, and if you don't have your ticket and serve it to him, he will just genuinely, like, crush your skull or something. I have no idea. I have not a clue what this thing could be. But it sure is interesting. And for our final entity, at least that I can spot, we have, again, whatever the heck this thing is, like, I suppose. So, I'm assuming this will be some sort of grand encounter in the archive, similar to how the Outdoors has quote-unquote grand encounters with, like, Eyestock and the, what's it called? Bramble, yeah, Eyestock and Bramble. So I'm assuming the archives will have similar little mini encounter, like, big encounter things, and I take it this one will probably be the middle or final one. I'm not really sure what role this thing will play, but, based off of this model's appearance, I'm, like, 50% confident this is, like, that old model that was leaked, like, 3 years ago or something that people kept calling, like, Figure's, like, brother or something. Or Abraham Lincoln, that's what they called him. I'm pretty sure this is that guy. Like, it's gotta be that guy. Like, I don't even know what else to say. Like, it's just such a little clip, I can't really just... I don't know what to really talk about here. It's like it's just bro walking around. But I'm pretty confident that's that one character that was leaked, like, 5 centuries ago. But I am excited to see, like, what this thing looks like, because that old, like, Abraham Lincoln character, I don't know why they call it that, actually, but I don't know, that was just its, like, file name or something. That other model I do actually think looks pretty neat as, like, a character design, and I'm very interested to see how they kind of, like, revamped it for, like, modern doors. So I'm kind of excited to see, like, this thing's appearance, like, not even what it does necessarily, just, like, I want to see what this thing looks like, and just, I think for most of the entities, it's mostly kind of seeing what they look like, just kind of, like, observing just these little, like, creatures and characters. It's like, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say doors is scary or creepy at all, but it's kind of like if Pokemon, right, were, like, actual monsters, and I think those are cool, like, just, like, right, obviously, I didn't make doors, right, I'm just a player, I'm just a fan of doors, but, like, looking at all these little characters, it's kind of like looking at little creatures in, like, a little terrarium or something, I don't know, that's such a weird, like, thing to bring up, but, like, I don't know. I just like looking at all the little character designs and just seeing what they do, you know? Just, like, all the gimmicks they have. Anyway, back on topic. Probably Abraham Lincoln thing. And I'm excited to see what this is. And I think that wraps up kind of, like, all of our entities. There's also, like, a mirror thing. I don't know if that was an entity or not. I think it was just purely decoration. But now I'm just gonna briefly mention a couple of things I thought was interesting in the trailer that were not creatures. Just kind of, like, miscellaneous little things I thought were interesting. So yeah, like, just a bunch of the random stuff I thought was interesting. Being able to shove books out of lockers, I think is pretty neat. That's, it just offers a little bit more variety in the animation, because I was wondering if they were gonna even do lockers slash closets in this floor, and they are, but it's a little bit more different, so I appreciate that. The journal's finally coming in this update. I'm excited to see all the illustrations and maybe story elements we get revealed to us through here. I'm wondering if it's like one of those things where, like, the more you encounter an entity, the more it'll, like, unlock on its, like, entry or page. I don't know, but it'll be neat. You're able to interact with, like, a ransom computer for some reason. I'm not really sure what that means, but it's definitely interesting. The clocks in this floor, there's, like, a bunch of them in the trailer, and, like, they're, like, kind of lit in a way where they seem oddly relevant. So I'm wondering if this is going to be, like, a floor where it's, like, more time-based rather than door-based, which is interesting, but I'm here for it. There is water spilt everywhere on the floor, wondering if that's simply a hazard or just straight up has no effect. Either way, it's kind of neat. There are paper water cones you can fill up with water. I think that's pretty cool. They're like an item. I'm not sure if I have an image for this, but they are in the trailer somewhere. There are trains and slash subway systems in the archives, as seen in this picture right here. Not sure if these will be, like, functioning or not, but either way, they are neat as building decor or as a functioning element. I don't know, but they're both, either way, pretty cool. Working escalators, we saw these in the archives teaser trailer, but working escalators in Roblox games just in general, I find really fun, so I'm glad they took the extra step in making them actually move. I appreciate that. Then, next up, we can see somebody, it might have been Redibles, I can't remember, somebody throwing down a paper airplane from the top, what's it called, balcony, or, bridge, or, yeah, I think it's the bridge. In that one, like, it's like that one bridge room in the original rooms, but it's, like, redone. So, paper airplane, that's pretty awesome. And then, in this image, there's just straight up, like, just the developer just, like, in-game, he's suffering, like, a migraine or, like a headache or something. Maybe it's, A90 attacking. You get, like, an animation or something. I'm not exactly sure. We have a shake light vending machine. This is cool. I like this. I don't know what to say about it. It's cool. And, finally, this is kind of an obvious thing you'll all probably see in the trailer, but, like, the overgrown grassy rooms are pretty neat. They remind me a little bit of the outdoors, and also a little bit of Rooms Revisited. Rooms Revisited, I think, has some pretty neat environments, but low-key, the archives, I think, like, Rooms Revisited is genuinely really awesome looking, but the archives visually might take the cake, I'm gonna be so honest. Yeah, either way, Rooms Revisited is a really good game. Go play that. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up, like, everything I've been kind of, like, thinking about ever since this trailer came out. Like, I'm sure a lot of you are probably also thinking about that stuff, right? Like, just wondering what certain things do, like these items and these entities and, like, you know, all that stuff. And, like, maybe in this update we'll also figure out more about the story of Doors, because we were told we would get a lot more story elements revealed to us, and I'm low-key really excited for that. And in this journal, there's the question of, who am I? And I'm curious to see if we get that answered in this update. So, I guess we'll have to wait and see on August 28th. So, I will definitely be making a video in similar fashion to my, like, Doors and what it means to me thing. Like, basically just going over the whole floor. I'll make something in similar taste to that with the archives when that comes out eventually. And I may make one for, like, the visions and stuff eventually. I don't know. Time will tell, I guess. But, yeah, so look forward to that archives video and potentially more Doors stuff. I'm not really sure. But, yeah, and also gameplay. Gameplay of the archives. I'll definitely be recording my gameplay of it. So, yeah, stay tuned for all that. And if you've made it this far, consider liking and subscribing if you liked it. I mean, you got this far. I mean, you've obviously somewhat enjoyed yourself. But who am I to say? So, anyways, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, and have a great day.